Hello everyone. As promised in last video, I am restarting Parts Hunt series, and for today's video I managed to find EVGA 2080 Ti Ultra for $250, which is already a good deal, but I managed to negotiate on 200 as the card doesn't have a box. So I headed to the seller to test the card, and if card will pass all the tests, I will buy it. So as always, I start from superposition 8K as it stressed the memory chips, and especially for the old generation which have seen like two mining booms, there is a high probability they were used in the mining, especially Ethereum mining, which heats up the memory chips and can damage the card. So these cards pass superposition without any issue, no artifacts, nothing. And after superposition I also do just a quick full mark test to check the temperatures, the fan speeds, some noise from the fans. And with these two tests, if there is no issue visible, I usually buy the cards, which in this case these cards pass both tests, so I went ahead and bought this card. So now let's have a look at the card to see in which condition it is. We can see that there is a little bit dust as the card was taken care of. As the seller told me, he was constantly cleaning it and even recently changed the thermal paste. There is some dust on the fans, and also at the back we can see there is oil marks from the thermal pads which need to be replaced, as the seller told me that he already changed only the thermal paste but didn't touch the thermal pads. So now let's stress the GPU and see what will be the temperature after 10 minutes of mark, and also the fan speed to compare after the whole cleaning will be done and new thermal pads and new thermal paste will be installed. But as I'm saying, the seller told me that he already replaced the thermal paste and he used very good one. It's a Crownut Extreme, the pink paste, which usually being used in the extreme overclocking. And I also going to use the Crownut, but not the extreme one. I don't think that my temps will be better than already registered, which is like 71 degrees, and I also increase the power limit, the core voltage, and we can see that it's holding 1025 millivolt, 71 degree, fan spinning 62%, so it's completely within normal operation range. But anyway, our main target to clean this card and to make it look like a brand new with all brand new thermal paste and thermal pads inside. So let's take apart and see what's inside. Here we can see that the pink Crownut Extreme, which you can see on your screens, have been used in this card, which already providing very good temperatures, not above 71 degrees. Just a little bit dust which need to be cleaned. But before that, let's take a look at the condition of the thermal pads. As the seller told me that he never touched the thermal pads and like they were already working in this way around like 2 years. So there is a high probability that they are dried out, as we also see our oil stains at the backplate. At this stage it's like look like it's glued, so I was a little bit worried. But upon taking apart we can see that there is no glue in this card. It's just the thermal pads which were completely dried out, especially for the VRM chokes, which is the highest heat generator on the PCB of this card. And we can see here that it just was stuck to these chucks. See, it's clearly visible. It was like melted and glued. Also, I noticed very interesting thing. This is a factory thermal pads, and at the factory they forgot to remove the cover from the thermal paste and just put the thermal paste with the cover on top of chucks. Now you see the cover is clearly visible, and all these chucks have been cooled through the thermal paste cover, which I doubt that it's transferable some kind of heat. Maybe it transfers some heat, but not efficiently as will do the thermal pads. So this part of the chucks completely was under the, I don't know, it's some cotton material, something similar, which they used just for protection of thermal pads. But that's not a serious issue, as a lot of manufacturers even doesn't bother to put the thermal pads on the chucks. They just cool them or through the air which is coming from the fans, or just even recent like MSI Gaming X470, they even blocked the fins by bending them, so even the direct air wasn't coming to the chokes. But anyway, I don't think that the chokes have been suffered from that material too much. They should be fine. We just need to fix it, as we don't know how long this particular card will be used by the next users who will be buying this card from each other, so we need to make it proper way. And to do that, we need to remove all the old thermal pads, to clean it, to wash it. The parts which is like this part, we can wash it. The PCB we need to clean and make it look like a brand new. Also, we can see that the high quality VRM chips has been used in this version of 2080 Ti, and the card looks in pretty good condition. So now let's take apart the shroud for the fans and see the fans from the back, to see what is the degree of dust on the blades. As usually that's the main place where the dust sit. And here we can see that the dust is not too bad. Also, you can use this video to find out the fan models if one of your fans need to be replaced. So we'll make sure all the fans will be cleaned thoroughly and they will shine as brand new. There's also another version with 3 fans from EVGA, which is even better than this version, and that version also has a thermocouples monitoring installed in the VRM chips and memory to monitor the temperature. This one only shows the temperatures for the GPU die and the hotspot. But anyway, the component base is very good, the cooling of components is very good. This card, I can say it's currently better value than 3070, 3070 Ti, 4060 Ti, 4060. It's much better value, and you can get in your region maybe for $250. If you are lucky like me, maybe you will find them for 200, and you can use this card at least for next 1 or 2 years, playing almost all games, 1440p, ultra settings, ray tracing. 11 GB of VRAM is right on the edge, which you can see in the comparison video against my 3080 10 GB, that when the 10 GB is completely used, the 3080 is starting to lose to this card. So this card currently my #1 recommendation for 1440p gaming, value wise. Also, I use the Cryonat, as I said. The old thermal paste, they don't last long. They use their efficiency in 1-2 years, and that's the main reason why recently a lot of people started using this Honeywell, the phase change thermal pads or thermal paste. But as I usually open my cards at least once a year, or if it's too clean, maybe 1.5 years later. I usually, when I open, I change the thermal paste too. That's why I don't bother to use some other phase change thermal paste. The crown nut is really good, at least for 1-2 years. And I'm curious to compare it with the extreme to see what will be the temperature, but I don't have a high hopes that it will outperform the pink thermal paste. So anyway, also reminder that this card you can get for same price as I paid $200, and I will cover the shipping cost. And to participate in the drawing process, in the next video will be 2-3 hours long, the testing of this card in the Furmark. You will need just go there in the comments, leave your PC spec, subscribe to the channel, like that video, and after 3 days when that video will be live, I will do a draw. You can check my previous video if you want to know how that whole process is happening. And then one lucky winner will get this card for just paying me $200, and I will pay for the shipping within US. So we can see it's brand new, clean, shining, with new thermal pads, new thermal paste. At least good for 1.5 or even 2 years of operation. Then I will advise to open, at least change the thermal paste. Now let's see what will be the temperatures. Again, starting from 100% power limit, Furmark 10 minutes, then at the second half I will increase the power limit to the maximum level to compare the card also on that level. Now we can see that after fresh install of thermal pads, I guess the temperatures improved, and the card is managing to give like 1050 millivolts. Previous it was 1025. Now it's steady on 1031 again. Before it was 1025. So we can say that the regular crown nut is as good as the crown nut extreme. So thank you for watching, and if you want to see the comparison against 3080 Ti, click on the banner. Thank you and see you in next one.